The Washington Wizards get their seventh win of the season, defeating the Minnesota Timberwolves 105-103 in Minnesota. And Luka Doncic is a Laker. So we're going to look at the recap from last night's game and how does the trade sending Luka to LA impact the Washington Wizards going forward. Rock with your boys next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's good, Wiz fam? Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Wizards Daily Newsletter, a one-stop shop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On Wizards newsletter. Today's episode is sponsored by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And again, guys, a lot to talk about tonight. The Washington Wizards do win their seventh victory of the year. As much as it pains me to say that, I'm good. Hey, we'll take what we can get, right? Defeating the Minnesota Timberwolves 105-103 in Minnesota. And Luka Doncic is on his way to LA. And Anthony Davis is now at Mavs. So we're going to break down the trade, look at who won the trade, and how does this impact the Washington Wizards at the deadline going forward. So let's get into first things first. Now, before I get into today's show, a couple announcements real quick. Saturday, I was a guest for the second time on the Chocolate City Hoops podcast. So shout out to my guy, DJ. I had fun, man, rolling down there to Alexandria, man. So like I said, always had fun rocking with my guy, DJ, and all his guys over there on the production side, man. These brothers know what they're doing, man. So definitely shout out to my guys over there at the Chocolate City Hoops podcast. And I have formally accepted a position as a writer with Sports Illustrated inside the Wizards. So, like I said, I'm very excited. Definitely shout out to my guy Noah. Definitely shout out to SI and Inside the Wizards for the opportunity. And looking forward to you guys being on the lookout. It's definitely still doing the newsletters too, Locked On. But again, definitely through SI's Inside the Wizards, be on the lookout for your boys' articles, man. So definitely. And like I said, I don't get to this position without you guys. You guys are the big reason why I built this channel the way it is. Definitely my guy, Ed Oliver, the real Ed Oliver, man, coming on, being a fresh and brand new raw guy in the podcast game, building this channel with my guy Ed, man, and now with AB, we really, I definitely appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, definitely appreciate all the love and support over the years. And like I said, I don't get to this level without you guys. So let's get into tonight's content. Lord Hammers, the Washington Wizards win their seventh game of the year, 105-103 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So looking at this game, AB, I mean, we just got on them about not playing four quarters, man, and they played four quarters. They played well. So, real quick before I get your take, it was defense the main reason why I wouldn't win this game, because if you look at the fact that we limited the Minnesota Timberwolves to shooting 40% from the field and 30% from three, was defense the name of the game for the Wiz?
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially, I understand that Anthony Edwards isn't playing, but still, you go in Minnesota and beat them. Bilal had a nice block on, I think it was Clark. Oh, my goodness, man. It's just, again, this is what we wanted to see for so long. The effort defensively, Jonas Valanciunas in the paint going up against a defensive caliber player of the year, Rudy Gobert, and one. Like, that's what we want to see. Even when it's a losing season, when you're getting blown out the previous nights for the last couple of weeks, you come out in Minnesota in their house and win a game and almost screwed up in the end with that turnover, and they almost hit that. Nico Alexander almost hit that game-winning three. But at the end of the day, it's a dub for the Wizards, and it's not so much you can ask for. Kyle Kuzma, 31-8-2. I mean, holy.
Hey, man, you already said it, man. Kyle Kuzma. Like I said, before we get on the individual stats, because the starting five was the star of the show. But defense, I mean, the biggest ask that both of us have had, AB, which is defensively, competing, man. Going out there and competing, getting back in transition, really locking down the paint, really closing down the shooters. The perimeter is where a lot of teams have cooked us all year long. And you want this team to play all four quarters, because the biggest thing right now, we get it. It's year two for rebuild. The most important part of what we're trying to do here right now is culture, establishing that culture underneath head coach Brian Keefe, which is fighting hard, playing to win. You play every game like you're trying to win. We know there's going to be a talent gap most nights. We are a very young and unproven team, very young and unproven. I mean, and it is what it is. Most nights we're going to have a talent gap, but you want to see performance like this. Yes, no Anthony Edwards. We all know that could have been in a different game with Anthony Edwards. Yeah, but you'll take what you can get. To me, the biggest thing we got out of this victory was a culture victory. Because these young guys, these vets, everybody, this team needed it, man, because there's a lot of turmoil going on. Trade deadlines coming up. So, some of these vets are definitely going to be on other teams past February 6th. And then the young guys, there's a lot of frustration. This team is 7-41, AB. So there's a lot of frustration. So this is a game. This is a victory they needed. I get it. No Anthony Edwards. It is what it is. But there was very bright moments last night. starting off with Kuzma. Like I said, been hard on Kuz. He's had a very up and down year, both on and off the court, but he definitely delivered last night. 31 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 13 of 24 from the field, and 5 for 10 from 3. So he shot 50% from 3. So look, he was aggressive. I'm not going to harp too much on past comments, but look, he was aggressive, and that's what you need from Kuz, man. Whether or not he's going to be here February 6th, is another topic for another, another discussion for another time. So, but Kuz, he really stepped up. I like what I saw from Kuz, man. 31 points again, and he was efficient. 13 for 24 and 5 for 10 from 3. So, and 8 boards. So Kuz utilizing that size, man, and definitely was very aggressive. And big reason why we won this game. Jordan Poole, the same. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 6 for 13 from the field, 4 for 9 for 3. We know that JP is that sniper. So he definitely, this is what we needed playing against a really good team. Yes, again, we said it 3-4 times. They did not have Anthony Edwards, but you definitely expect Kuz and Poole to be that 1-2 punch when you want to win these games. So 19 points again from JP 13. He did his thing, 4 for 9 from 3, and 2 blocks. Yeah, I mean, defensively, defensively, JP 13 he looks a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. Is this what you expected? I mean, last year he at points he was kind of unplayable. Now look, JP 13 put in that work on the defensive end. So how surprised are you that he has stepped up so much on the defensive end?
Not surprised at all. With this offseason, you talked about a lot how he improved on it, and then the second half of last season just getting better and cutting down the turnovers. And for so much of this year, it was Kuz and JP really couldn't be on the same page at the same time. But against last night, I mean, they were cooking out there. And again, offensively, defensively, just a great job by them. And I know we give Kyle Kuzma a lot of slack, well deserved because of those comments that he made. But at the end of the day, he showed up, man. That's what really mattered. I mean, again, it's not easy to win in Minnesota. And again, no Anthony Edwards, but still, they're a contending team in the West. And without Anthony Edwards, any other guys could have stepped up as well.
I agree 100%, AB. Like I said, Kyle Kuzma and JP 13, they stepped up. That's what we needed them to do, and they did it. Kyle Kuzma was very aggressive, and he was efficient. So, like I said, those two, we needed them to take charge and be those aggressive scorers that we know they can be. But some other people to shine. Obviously, Jonas Valanciunas, he produces. He's produced all year long. He's been that veteran man where, yes, he, in certain ways, he's starting to decline a little bit, but he is still a very, very productive center who's got a chip on his shoulder, plays very tough. He shows his experience. His basketball IQ is very high. 13 points, 10 rebounds. So he got a double-double, 6 for 11 from the field, and 1 steal. But the young guys are starting 5. Keyshawn George stepped up, and Bilal Coulibaly, that's what I'm talking about, Be Cool. That's what I'm talking about. Be Cool had 14 points. He led all Wizards in minutes with 36 minutes played. 4 for 9 for the field, 2 for 2 from 3. So you definitely want to see those numbers. Shooting the 3-point shot is getting better, man. He's becoming he's starting to become a little consistent. So we definitely want him to string together a lot more consistency. But Be Cool, when he figures it out offensively, watch out, NBA. Defensively, 2 blocks, 2 steals. So Be Cool is Be Cool. But offensively, I love this performance last night from Be Cool. And Keyshawn George, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, and 2 steals. So again, he looks like he's a really good defender. I like the defensive prowess of Keyshawn George. And offensively, he's starting to find other ways to contribute, not just really relying on the 3-point shot. He's starting to drive to the basket more, hit the mid-range shot. So Keyshawn George, definitely a sleeper. When we talk about sleeper AB, we often talk about Bub. You got to put a little respect on Keyshawn George's name, man, because he's starting to play really good basketball. He's been up and down, very inconsistent, but I think especially in the second half of the season after the deadline, when he gets extensive minutes, you're going to see a lot from Keyshawn George. I'm very high on Keyshawn. I think he's a definite steal at number 24 overall for the Washington Wizards, man. So, like I said, now looking at the second unit real quick, not the best night. Kispert, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. So, he's been very inconsistent this season. Malcolm Brogdon come back for injury, 1 for 6, only 3 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So he did find ways to contribute. Rashawn, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So very limited, 17 minutes, and Bub 14 minutes, and only 4 assists, 0 for 1 for the field. So let me ask you this, man. I didn't catch it. Did Bub get hurt?
I was looking at it too. I don't remember him getting hurt. I don't know if it was that or they just pulled him out to the side. I was looking at it. I was just seeing the 4 assists. So I don't know. I have to check up on that.
Yeah, same here, man. Like I said, I missed that part. That might have been a bathroom break. I don't know. 14 minutes. I kind of think that he got injured. So I'm definitely going to dig in. and figure it out, man. And then when I get news on a potential injury or anybody in the chat, if you know, we'll definitely, go from there. But like I said, not his best night, but I'd imagine that he had to have an injury or, 14 minutes, you expect Bud to play more than 14 minutes. So like I said, I'm going to do my due diligence and see if he was in fact injured. And we're going to get into obviously look at the chat. And you guys, if you know, let us know. So like I said, guys, 7th victory of the season. And we are now 7-41. It is what it is on that front. But look, this is a good culture win, AB. They needed this victory. 16 game losing streak, bro. Like this is not the first one of the season. So
I think if they lost again, it would have tied the franchise for most, or no? Because Greg talked about it.
I believe so. I got to double check, but they were definitely setting the record, man. So it's a good culture victory. When they needed that victory, and like I said, Kuz and JP13, they stepped up like we needed them to do, and they're our first and second scoring options. So we needed them to be aggressive to really hang with a team like Minnesota. Because look, Anthony Edwards, they still got talent there. So like I said, we'll take this dub. So Luka Doncic is now a Los Angeles Laker. Anthony Davis, man, come on now, is now a Dallas Maverick. So we're going to look at who won this trade and how does it impact the Wizards at the trade deadline. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Looking for tickets to your next big event, whether it's a concert, a comedy show, or a sporting event, finding the right ticket at the right price can be a headache. But with Gametime Picks has never been easier. Let me tell you how it works. With Gametime Picks, the app does all the work for you. It curates the best deals so you don't have to waste time searching through endless ticket listings. And you guys know me, I go to games all the time. So I've gone through every ticketing app, and to me, Gametime is the best because you get to see your view from the seat. So you know exactly what your view is and if you're getting your money's worth. So there's a lot of good reasons, man. That's not the only one. A lot of good reasons to rock with Gametime. So don't take my word for it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Cool, man. All right, AB, let's get back into this thing. So, as you guys know, big trade, sending Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers, and AD is on his way to Dallas, man. So, real quick, we're gonna pull up the specifics of the trade real quick. So definitely bear with me, man. And obviously, this is big news in NBA land. But real quick before I get into specifics, AB, who won this trade in your eyes?
The Los Angeles Lakers. You 25-year-old superstar Luka Doncic. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I was downtown in Blacksburg at a bar, and I'm looking at it, and I just scream. I'm like, Shams definitely got hacked. Like, what is this? It's 12 a.m. Like, I was looking. Is it April 1st or is it February 1st? Like, to me, like, what are you doing if you're the Los Angeles? Is it Rico Harrison, the GM? Like, if Mark Cuban's not there's no way Mark Cuban would go with that. He loves Luka Doncic. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. Anthony Davis, a 33-year-old who is still a really good elite player, but at the end of the day, injury history. Luka Doncic just took this team to the NBA Finals not too long ago. So, to me, this doesn't make any sense. And again, a Western Conference team, I don't know, like it just 25-year-old Luka Doncic. And again, if you're saying the weight concern, I mean, what? Like it just. I just don't understand and I just can't. I don't understand the argument saying that the Mavs won this trade. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Look at this, 73 points he dropped last year, like a superstar. And this is probably the biggest trade that I've seen. I'm 22 years old that I've seen in my lifetime, and probably all sports, not just in the NBA. So I was shocked. I'm pretty sure everyone was shocked. And this is just it's insane. I mean, Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, I'll say this, and I'm going to read a report real quick because there was some stuff behind the scenes. There was some friction in LA and there was some friction in Dallas. So real quick, this is from Brett Siegel. So if you don't follow Brett Siegel at Brett Siegel NBA on X, aka Twitter, definitely recommend it, man. Because him and Evan Cedery, amongst other people, are definitely one of those two big people putting in that work behind the scenes. So Brett Siegel said this: it's still crazy how all of this played out. The Lakers have grown frustrated with Anthony Davis and didn't want to extend him. The Dallas Mavericks have grown frustrated with Luka and did not want to extend him because he was up for a Supermax contract. and this summer. And Dallas calls LA with a Luka AD proposal, and it gets done. And there's reports on the Athletic is saying that LeBron James, after the trade went through, said, "Look, there was some friction between him and AD." So the question: who won this trade? I don't think anybody wins this trade. I mean, I think that Dallas won it more than LA because looking at LA and their situation, looking at their depth chart. I mean, where do you fit him in? I mean, and you have so many ball dominant guys just between him and Bron. I mean, looking at the starting five right now without Luka Doncic, you have Austin Reeves at point guard, Dalton Connect at 2 guard, Rui Hachimura at 3, LeBron James at the 4, and Jackson Hayes at the 5. So AB, real quick, where would you fit Luka at, man? Would you play him at point? Would you play him at a 2 guard?
That is a good question. That was the one thing that I was concerned about. I think just play him at the point. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah. But again, going back to the perspective, once LeBron James retires, the Lakers have Luka Doncic as their cornerstone piece. Like, to me, it's insane. And I know in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, man, Adam Silver ratings are down. Like, it's got to be something. But at the end of the day, like, this is absurd. And I don't know, to me, I just don't think the Mavericks want this trade in any way possible, especially if AD is not 100% healthy for these next couple of weeks and going into the playoffs. I mean, and Luka Doncic and LeBron James find a way to get ring number 5, ring number 5 for LeBron in this case. I think it would be 18 for LA. It just, to me, it's just, I still can't process it. I remember when it happened, you had to sit down and just actually think about what happened.
Well, it tells me one thing, AB. LeBron's not going to be here forever. He's probably going to be retiring soon because LA wants their next superstar. They got in Luka Doncic. I understand why they made that move. They're preparing for life without LeBron. So I do understand the move from the perspective of the Lakers. They didn't have to give up much. So I'm going to pull up here's the particulars of the trade now. The Lakers did receive Luka Doncic, but also Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris, former Wizard Markieff Morris. So they are headed to LA. Dallas Mavericks get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick. So, I mean, and the Jazz received. So the Jazz were the third team in this move. So they got Jalen Hood, Shafino, and the 2 second round picks from 2025, the ones that were part of a prospective deal for Jonas Valanciunas. So, like I said, how does it impact the Wizards? And before I get into that, I think, again, looking at it from the Wizards' perspective, it was for life after LeBron. So I do understand the component. Now, Dallas, right now they're 8th in the West. Now, I'm going to ask you, AB, real quick before I get into how it affects the Wizards. Looking at Dallas, are they still a playoff team? I mean, how do you see AD really fitting in with what Dallas is trying to do?
I think definitely the GM mentioned how defensively they wanted to get better, and that's what they did. I mean, you bring in Anthony Davis, you got Daniel Gafford, you still got Kyrie Irving. So at the end of the day, this Mavericks team, they still will be a playoff team. But again, Luka Doncic, I mean, this dude was the savior of this franchise. Everyone loved him. I mean, remember that bubble with that game winner against the Clippers? Like, this dude he's a stone cold killer. He's 25 years old. I mean, it really is insane. And again, like a trade like this, it never comes every night. It never comes like every year. It comes once in a lifetime. Trading 2 superstars, it's insane.
Look, this is the first of many deals, man. Jimmy Butler's on the market. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is on the market. This is going to be a wild trade deadline, man. So this is the first domino to fall. But how does it affect the Wizards? Well, I already named it. The 2 second round picks from 2025 are off the book. So I don't see the Lakers being willing to part ways with any draft capital because, yeah, you have Luka, but you still got to go out there and get talent. So I think they're going to be very hesitant. I don't know. It's kind of 50-50 because they do want to surround him with talent in LA past LeBron James, and I think they will be able to do so. So, but I don't see them right now. If I'm the GM in LA, I'm not giving up any further draft compensation to anybody because the biggest keys to any further deal was those 2 second round picks from 2025. So I think it definitely knocks us out of the running for sending Jonas Valanciunas to the Lakers. Now, we said it before, and we talked about it before. All 3 guys could be on the roster after the deadline. Now, obviously, with Kuz asking out, it behooves the Wizards to make a move for Kyle Kuzma or sending him somewhere. And then Malcolm Brogdon. I think if I'm a betting man, which I do dabble with a little sports betting, but I'm gonna say that Malcolm Brogdon's he's not going anywhere. The injury issues, I think, is enough to concern a lot of teams who, with a guy who makes $22.5 million, the injuries continue to be the biggest knock against Malcolm Brogdon. He could play when he's on the court, he's productive, but the injuries are concerned, especially for the price tag. So, utilize him to be that mentor, to be that veteran guy, and work with these young guys in the second half. So at this point, I expect Malcolm Brogdon in, and I kind of want Malcolm Brogdon to go ahead and just, play out the rest of his contract. here in DC because I don't see anybody picking him up with that price tag with the injury concerns. Kyle Kuzma, you're not going to like the deal you're going to get in return, but it is what it is. You have to move Kuzma, in my opinion. Jonas Valanciunas, you can argue with the contract with him with the mentorship. Could they retain him past deadline? Yeah, but then you have to see what you have in Tristan Vucevic, in my opinion. So you have to try to clear up that logjam at center. So I think that kind of behooves him, just like how Kuzma behooves him to make that move and send you Valanciunas, somewhere where he fits. Now the question is where, and like I said, we're going to talk about this week coming up because the trade deadline is February 6th on Thursday. And like I said, we got special guest Troy Halliburton on the show on Thursday to chop it up and talk about the trade deadline. So excited to have him on the show, man. It's my guy. Like I said, he's that guy putting in that work behind the scenes, man. So, the trade deadline's coming up. So this deal was the first domino to fall. A lot of deals. Jimmy Butler's on the market. De'Aaron Fox is on the market. Zach LaVine's on the market. Kyle Kuzma's on the market. So we look, this is going to be a heck of a trade deadline. So let's get into comments. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Basketball season is heating up, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with PrizePicks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With over 10 million members and billions in awarded winnings, PrizePicks makes it easier and fun to turn your sports knowledge into real cash. It's that easy, baby. And like I said, here's how it works. Just pick more or less on at least 2-player projections. And if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Let me say that again, 1,000 times your cash. Good Lord. So look, do yourself a favor, guys. Download the app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, AB, let's get in the comments, man. So again, appreciate you guys rocking with us today. Like I said, Saturdays are 50-50. And like I said, I was in the city yesterday, yesterday. My bad. Time flies when you're old, man. So like I said, definitely appreciate everybody rocking with us tonight to recap our 7th victory of the season. We'll take it, man. Good culture win, but we'll take it. And like I said, Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers is the first domino to fall, which is going to be a crazy trade deadline. So let's start things off with our guy Locked On Law. It says Dallas trading Doncic to the Lakers is ridiculous. That trade looks like a complete fix. I mean, there has been kind of like, a trail of breadcrumbs to this trade. There's been known that they wanted to, and there's been a link between Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers for some time now. And with LeBron James 40 plus right now, the question is, how long is he going to be here in this league, man? And so they're setting themselves up for the next step. And I get it from the Lakers' perspective. I get it. It's the Lakers, man. It's not the Heat. It's not the Wizards. It's not the Pelicans. It's one of those certain teams that even when they're bad, they still take the attention off of most teams. Lakers are just one of those teams. Like you said it earlier, AB, they've got a lot of championships. The Celtics, the Knicks, they're just those teams where regardless, they're going to be in the news, man. So like I said, you don't really rebuild in LA. The Clippers do, but the Lakers do not rebuild. So I get it from their perspective because they need that next superstar guy to build around in LA. So I get it. But it is, it's kind of like the Dodgers, man. The rich get richer. I mean, in my opinion, the rich get richer. That I really don't see. I mean, I guess it does fit more. I mean, looking at their roster, it does fit because they have a lot, and looking at Dallas real quick, AB. I mean, Irving's out. PJ Washington's out. Anthony Davis is obviously out, pending a physical, and Daniel Gafford is not only out, but he's a guy who is being shopped on the trade block right now. So the direction of Dallas is I don't know, man. Like you said, I think they're a playoff team, but they're not a team who's going to win a championship. And you could argue they're probably headed towards a rebuild, which is wild because you just had Luka Doncic. Now you're looking at a rebuild, man. Dallas, they could go out there and spend some money and bring some talent in there, man, but we'll see. Is Anthony Davis still that guy from New Orleans where you build around him? I don't know, AB. Let's see. Avery Miller, what's up? How you doing? It says Brian Keefe is 7-1 when leading going into the fourth quarter. I think that stat shows that he knows how to win and gives me confidence that we're going to do this rebuild correct. Just praying for the top 3. I'm with you. Yeah, we need that top 3 pick, man. But Brian Keefe, you got to remember, he is still a first-time head coach. This is his first official full season as a head coach. So, yeah, he as an assistant coach, he's known as one of the best developmental coaches in the game, and the guy who is defensive-minded coach. But as a head coach, he's still finding who he is as a coach. So, like I said, it's a good stat. 7-1 when leading going in the fourth. We're still in the developmental stage of the rebuild, so I think he's definitely the man for the job. Now, we both said it, AB. We need some progression going to year 3, not only from the players, not only for the front office, but from Coach BK. So, like I said, we need to see some progress going into year 3. But like I said, at this point, he's done well. He's a coach that cares, but he cares about these guys, man. He holds them to a standard, but yet he's going to dig into them also. So, like I said, give him time, especially in the second half of the season. Give him some time. Give him the opportunity to, develop these guys, man. So let's see. Avery Miller also says, yes, but we're trying to rebuild. So success during the season doesn't necessarily mean wins. And I think he's responding to Locked on Law's comment. Locked on Law says, so you're saying we're almost leading going into the fourth quarter? I Locked on Law, man. You're a trip. So he says the stat definitely sheds some light. I definitely think we'll be more competitive after the deadline. We'll see. I think that the roster is going to be younger. So there's going to be a lot of growing pains, man. So I do think a lot more wins are going to be in the first half than the second half. But you want those mistakes. Like I said, you want these young guys to go out there and play their game and make those mistakes in the second half of the season and really learn those hard lessons, man. So let's see. And Valor says Nico Harrison might top Tommy Shepard for the dumbest GM I've ever seen. I mean, is he that bad in your eyes, AB, compared to Tommy? Lord.
I mean, again, that Dallas fans love Luka Doncic. To me, it's just like, I don't know. There's got to be something. There's something's going to come out of this that we're going to be like, maybe that's the reason why. Because again, like, he's a 25-year-old superstar. And I keep saying it. I'll keep reiterating it. This dude just took his team to the NBA Finals last year. I know he lost to Celtics, but holy crap, Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I mean, I get the outrage, but then I also get the Lakers' perspective of it. Because, like I said, they're that franchise, man. You don't rebuild in LA, not with the Lakers, man. So Luka, he's been connected there. I think we all knew that Luka was going to eventually go to a bigger market because he's just that guy, man. I mean, he's got big market potential as far as how they can, really, build the franchise around him. I mean, people are going to show up to watch Luka, man. He's box office, so I get it. From the perspective of the Mavs, a little less unclear, man. Like I said, Luka now. Luck and Log says, I get Dallas not wanting to pay Luka a huge $345 million extension. Like I said, it was murky whether he was going to accept that extension because he's up for that Supermax. And we know about Supermaxes, man. The NBA is still dealing with our last one. So Gerflump says, Wizards win one game and the league explodes. I'm telling you, man, one game and the league gets flipped on the inside, man. So let's see. Guru Sean, what's up? It's been a while, man. How you doing? Rebuild script already written. Draft Ace Bailey. Draft Elijah Arenas the following season. Oh, I like that. Year after that, playoffs. All we have to do is follow the script and not get too cute. I like that. What do you think, AB?
Yeah, no, definitely. Ace Bailey, he's been hooping this year. Obviously, I'm still a Cooper Flag guy, but Elijah Arenas, maybe AJ DeBonja, Nate Met, those are some guys in that 2026 draft. The Booster Twins. Hey, just give me anything, bro. That playoffs in 2 years, that's what I like.
No, I agree, man. Like I said, you can't go wrong in the top three. Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, or Dylan Harper. You can't miss with either one of those three players, man. You can't miss. And after that, 4 and 5, probably looking at Edgecombe. You're probably looking at Deneen from BYU. So, like I said, top three you can't miss. Ace Bailey, I think he can fit here. I think that Dylan Harper can fit here. I think that Cooper Flag can fit here. So we have, like I said, the way we're going, man, we're guaranteed the top 5. And I don't think we're going to get number 5. I think we're definitely going to be in the top 3, man. So hopefully, man, I don't know what they need to slide Commissioner Silver, $100 bill or something, but something, man. But we need to make sure we get in that top 3. So let's see. Locked on Law being Helm says Kuzma being the reason for the win is not building anything. You take what you can get, man. Your Flump says I'd love to see Brogdon on the roster next year. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would love to see him play towards the end of this season, but as far as if it's because I like Jared Butler. I think he's a solid contributor. Bub Carrington looks like right now he's going to be that 6th man and be that backup point guard. And because right now your backcourt is looking like it's going to be Cool and JP13, and I'm cool with that for at least the next couple of years, unless we go out there and get Dylan Harper. If you get Ace Bailey, you got to slide Bilal to the 2 anyway. So you get Cooper Flag. Maybe you still got Bilal at 3, and maybe you still try a backcourt with Bub and JP13. But I think both of them are point guards, man. So I would, find, we'll see. We still got Kispert, so we'll see what's going on. So I'm with you on. I wouldn't mind. It's just I think we're good. I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was about to say, I think it goes back to your best ability, availability, and clearly we've seen with Brogdon, it's just not there. We just don't see him playing. It's just hard to bring him back because again, if you're not playing, what can we showcase and see?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I definitely agree with that. Mental Edge, what's up? Says no Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, or Miles Reed left the game with an injury. Man, we got lucky. Yeah, like I said, we know what it is. I mean, if you have Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, do we win? I mean, I'm hoping they still play them hard and still make it a 4-quarter game. But Anthony Edwards, we all know what it is. But we'll take it, man, because I think this victory does more for the spirit of the team right now. 16 game losing streak. At the time before this game, they were 6-41. They needed kind of an uplift, man, because this team has losing fatigue, man, especially the vets, man. Kyle Kuzma, I think he's about had it. And then Valanciunas, I think you still have to, could they still make a deal with the Lakers? Yeah, but they already drafted away, or they already traded away the draft pieces and the 2 second-round picks. So they need a center in LA. They need a center. So I think they could still be a location for a prospective trade for Jonas Valanciunas. But like I said, it does become a little harder because you want some draft compensation. And right now, it looks like the best chance to get a first-round pick, AB, is to take on a bad contract. And, John Collins is still a guy who's been linked to Sacramento. Maybe we make a move for him for a draft pick because, look, John Collins one name, Chris Middleton. So, this was a deal that I thought that maybe I wanted to see the Wizards get in on. Jimmy Butler or De'Aaron Fox super trade, you have to get in on that and become a facilitator and take on a bad contract and get a first-round pick. So I definitely expect this front office to be very, very aggressive. But look, I'm not against picking a bad contract. If it's, John Collins, 2 years at most. So it's not going to bog us down. 3 years, he's going to be gone, and it's not going to hold up any money from re-signing Bilal Coulibaly. So same thing with Chris Middleton. Their contracts are not going to weigh us down long term. And you can probably argue that neither one of them will be on the team after this year because I believe both of them have player options. So we'll see. I mean, money talks, but they know what's going on in DC also. So not many people want to be part of a rebuild. So especially both of them being vets, they may want to cling on to a team with playoff, if not championship aspirations.
I was gonna say B for that comment. The T-Wolves, okay, but we didn't have Marvin Bagley, Sadiq Bey, or Alex Sarr, so I think it cancels out.
There you go. I mean, like I said, we'll take the win, man. We will take the win. No matter Brian says, interesting game. I was happy. Minnesota fans saying Wiz beat a big league team. Okay, but it's nice to get a dub either way. I mean, I don't understand, man. I get loyalty. I love my Wizards. I love all my Washington teams, and I love the O's, man. But good Lord, I mean, come on, man. I mean, who really? It's a Wizards. Let us have this one, man. I mean, we're 7-41. I mean, we know what it is. It's so funny how these, some of these fan bases are like, oh man, it's a big league team. Look, we're just happy, man. Look, it's a culture win for us, so we get it. It's like, when people are like, it's funny when people try to act like saying we're trash is an insult. We know we're trash. We're in a rebuild. Like, we know this, man. It's funny sometimes. Let's see. Augustus Tyler, what's up? Says Lakers back to Showtime status. Ooh, man, they're going to be box office. They really are. But I think the key is who, kind of like the Wizards, man, but not to the lesser degree where we're at, man. But who emerges as that third or fourth option? Because you definitely believe that, especially in games that matter, teams are going to game plan to shut down one of those two. And look, who's going to emerge? You're Rui. Is it time for Rui to take that next step? You got Austin Reeves. Connect's been shooting lights out, man. So they got some nice pieces there in LA. So I think they're gonna be all right. But Dallas, they fall. I mean, at A seed, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how they go. Let's see. Edian says this Luka trade might work out for us. Lakers need a center. Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to those 2 second-round picks in 2025, but I think they still could be a destination. But we're gonna have to be a little crafty to get any kind of draft compensation in this trade deadline, man, because I don't realistically see us getting the first for JV. I don't see us getting the first for Kuzma, and I don't see getting the first for Malcolm Brogdon. I just don't see it, man. And I think that taking on a bad contract is your best chance to get a first-round pick. So let's see. Delmar Venning says, oh, yeah, Maz Brass don't want to play that extension. I'm with you on that, Lord. And kind of echoing what I've been thinking. To look at this is from Antisocial Extrovert. It says the Luka trade came down to that Supermax contract. Why weren't the Wiz involved in the move? I definitely want to see them get involved with one of these big moves as a third or fourth team as a facilitator. Jimmy Butler move, you have to get in on that. If I'm the Wizards, you have to get in on that trade, man. Let's see. Like I said, I hate missing out on anybody's comment, man. So, but we haven't done a mailbag in a while, so we're gonna try to do a mailbag this week, man. And let you guys, ask us those good questions so we can give you our best answers. The Hawk TV says Kyle Kuzma is probably plotting his return to LA. They can have him, man. We had in the comments, one guy was like, man, I love Kuzma, man. We would love him back in LA. I said, look, by all means, he is yours. So none against Kuz, man. Like I said, he came here, he played, he did his thing, but the writing is on the wall at the deadline, man. Let's see. Backstack says, I know Keith is tank commander, but I'm not sure how he keeps his job by season's end. I'd rather give him the second half of the season to see what he can do with these young guys. But I do see him working wonders with Sar, with Bilal, JP13. I mean, like I said, these guys have put the work in the offseason. And like I said, definitely shout out to the players, especially JP13, especially Bilal, especially Sar, putting that work in, man. But I mean, like I said, give BK the second half of the season. And I know you agree, AB. We have to see some level of progression heading into next year, man. But like I said, give him the second half to see if he can work wonders with these young guys. Let's see, guys. We're gonna do one more comment. I hate to miss anybody's, man, but let's see. This is from One Sin City One. It says, "Is it me or does it seem like our young players be throwing Kuzma shade on the court?" I don't know, B. I don't know. Be cool, ready for him to go is all over his face. What do you think, AB? I mean, are you catching that body language not only from Kuz but from the younger squad?
I could definitely see it because again, those comments that he made the other day after that Suns game, after that performance, why would any young guy want to look at him and say, "Well, if he can disrespect and he's our so-called leader, why the heck should I respect him? He wants to get his and he wants to be out of here. So why should I even associate with him?" So again, it's just team chemistry. It's just Kyle Kuzma. But again, as much as we give him slack, we give him slack. 31 points. You got to give him flowers where flowers are due.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Kuz, man. 31 points in a win. We'll take that. All right. So, guys, we're going to rapid fire some quick questions. And then we're going to call it a night real quick. Booker Gitter says, I love the Mavs roster. I think they could have got more draft capital for Luka, though. Yeah, I agree. I agree on that front, man. Let's see. One Sin City One says, I'd trade Poole too. He's definitely got some attention, man. But I think you retain Kuz to at least the next couple of years, man. Let's see. And Lance Geek says, I like Middleton for Wiz. That's a good bad contract, man. I think that if I'm the Wizards, man, you're calling Milwaukee and you see if you can pick up a bad contract for a first round pick or two. And he also says, don't sell low on Kuzma. I mean, he's selling low on himself. I don't think we have a choice at this point, man. So, all right, guys, we're going to call it a day. Like I said, we're going live tomorrow. Let me pull up the schedule real quick for the Wizards this week. So, we were going live tomorrow. We got a special guest. My guy, the real Ed Oliver, will be on the show with me and AB tomorrow. So definitely looking forward to chopping in with my guy, man. It's been a while. E. So looking forward to having you on the show, brother. So let's take a look at the schedule real fast, everybody.
I think it's Charlotte.
Oh my Lord, yes. My wife is already talking stuff, man. They are at Charlotte tomorrow night. So we're going live. The tip off is at 7. So we will be going live at 9:30. So rock with your boys tomorrow night. So let's see the rest of the schedule for the week. Wednesday at Brooklyn. So the same. And then Friday home against the Cavaliers. And then Saturday, I will be at the game, but against the Hawks. But I won't be going as media. I'll be going with one of my friends, man. So I'm going as a fan, man. So I'm having me a beer or two. So I'm going as a fan, not media. So but I will be there for the Hawks versus Wizards matchup on Saturday. So again, guys, definitely chop it up with us tomorrow night at 9:30 to recap the Wizards at the Charlotte Hornets matchups. Hopefully it's a dub. We can take a 2-game winning streak. And I believe we already got 2 wins against the Hornets already this year. So, look, it is what it is. So, all right, everybody. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night, 9:30. Hail to the Wizards and peace.